In this session, you're going to learn how to understand different sentence types. So year two, this is something you've done before, but this might be quite new for year one, but we're just going to give it a go. So when you've been reading your books, you might notice that there's different punctuation at the end of different sentences. So if we look behind here, there are three different types that you might see. You might see full stops. Does anyone know what this is? That's right, it's a question mark. And what do you think might be behind the purple spot? Yeah, it's an exclamation mark. So we're going to have a look at when and how to use these different types of punctuation in our writing. So we have different sentence types. We've got four different types of sentences. This is the first one, and it's a statement. This is something you use quite a lot. So statements are sentences which tell you a fact, an opinion, or an idea. So just when you want to tell someone some information. So an example I've got here is a rainbow has 7 colours. Okay. Or we could say they are beautiful to look at. They're just simple sentences and they all have capital letters and these have full stops. They're the type of sentences that you write all the time. The next type of sentence is a question. Like I said, year twos, you have probably done this before. Year ones, you might have done it as a class, but not too much by yourself. So questions are sentences that you ask something and they always come with a question mark at the end. I call it a curly question mark because the top of it's quite curly. So an example might be, what did you have for dinner? You use lots of questions every day. Can I go to the toilet, please? Can I have a drink? Is it playtime? What's for dinner? They're all examples of questions. So when you write them down, all you need to do is rather than have a full stop, you have a curly question mark. The next type of sentence is a command. So these are very urgent, angry, and very short sentences. Okay, they can be known as posse verbs when they tell someone what to do. So an example would be help or stop. You can hear that I have to change my voice. They're very short. And they might tell you when to do something, get to bed. Okay. So they're often very short. They might be urgent if you're asking for help, or you might be if someone is angry. So that's when you'd use an exclamation mark. So help, you need to exclamation mark that line and a dot to show that you're changing your voice and it's something that's urgent or angry. You might also use an exclamation mark if someone's surprised as well. And an exclamation sentence. So this again uses an exclamation mark, but it's different to a command. So these sentences is used when someone is surprised. It always starts with how or what, and it contains a noun or a verb. For example, what big feet you have. We all know that famous line from Little Red Riding Hood. It's got started the word what, and we're surprised at how big Granny's feet are. So it's an exclamation mark. Or what a beautiful day. How wonderful, how lovely. They're all examples of exclamation sentences. Let's quickly go through the 4 types again. So we have a statement, which is a full stop, and that is just when you're telling a fact and an opinion or an idea. We use them all the time. Next, we have a question, is when you want to find out something. And then 2 ways we can use an exclamation mark. We have a command, which is often very short, and if you're angry, so it might be get up, sit down, help. They're very short sentences and we change our voice when we use them. Or it might be an exclamation, which is a sentence that starts with what or how, and we use it when we are surprised. So what big feet you have, what big ears you have, how lovely. Okay. Now, I've got some sentences here and I want you to pause after each one and think about what punctuation comes at the end of the sentence. So my first sentence says, my name is Miss Jones. Is that going to be a question, an exclamation, or a full stop? That's right. It is a full stop. That is a command. I'm just telling you some information. Right, next one. What time is tea? What punctuation needs to go with that? What time is tea? That's right. It is a question. We want to know what time our tea is. So we need an answer. So it's a question mark, my curly question mark. Next sentence. What a beautiful day. Okay, this time I'm exclaiming something. I'm surprised at what a wonderful day it is. It's also starting with the word what, which is a big clue. So it is an exclamation mark that goes at the end. My next sentence says, when can I go home? When can I go home? Are they telling us something for a command? Are they asking a question? Are they exclaiming something? Yeah, they're asking a question. They want to know when they can go home, so it's a curly question mark. What an adventure. That's right, it's got what, so it is an exclamation sentence. And my last one, I went to the shops. Is that a question? No. Is it an exclamation? No, it's just a command sentence, so we have a full stop. Well done. If there's anything you're not sure of, always go back through to the video and you can re-watch the slides where I explain the 4 different sentence types. It's okay if you get a little bit stuck at first, they can be tricky. It's just about practicing, but I'm sure you'll do a good job. Let's look at what our task is today. So your task today, it says before watching the task, watch the video, which you are doing. You need to read the following sentence and punctuate them with a question mark or a question or an exclamation mark. So I've got the 2 examples here. There are no commands on your sheet, they're just questions and exclamations. So you need to read the sentences, and then where I've put the little line at the end, you need to decide whether that's a question or an exclamation. So an example, what a beautiful island, we would put a exclamation mark. And I've put them at the side there in case you can't remember what they look like. Okay, so pause the video now and have a first go of that sheet. Okay, now that once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is we're going to think of your own sentences. So it says, have a go at thinking of your own sentences that you could use in the story. And obviously the story is Nora and the islands. We're still working on that this week. So any questions? Remember, questions are things that we want to find answers to. I'll just make my writing a lot smaller. So a first question that Nara or someone could use in the story. So you could say, how can I get there? So this is, remember, all sentences need capital letters. So how can I get there? It's a question, I need a question mark. And that sentence could be used when Nora's thinking about how she wants to get to the island. She's asking, how can I get there? My next sentence, I'm going to think of a question. Oh, how many animals are there? Got my question mark. How many animals are there? Yeah, that's another one. Can I think of any more? Maybe something that's not using how. Oh, so something that Nora might ask Aaron. Do you like living here? So questions can start with loads of different first words. You might have who, what, where, why, when, how, do, why. Okay, so think of as many questions as you can that you could use in the story. You might just have 2, you might have 5. Have a little go with that part now. Okay, and the last part of your sheet, so we've done questions, now we're going to look at exclamation sentences. This is when we're going to write a sentence about when we're surprised. So starting with what or how. So I might say, what, oh, with my capital letter, what a beautiful island. Okay, Nora is surprised at what a beautiful island it is. when she sees all the flowers in the tree, she might think, how special. Okay, she might think, wow, what a special place this is. And at the end of the story, she might say, what an exciting day. It was a very exciting day. Nara has been waiting to go there for a long time, and she's finally got to go. Okay, have a go at your exclamations now. I know this is tricky, so you can always steal some of my ideas if you can't think of your own. That's absolutely fine. Have a go at the worksheet, and this will really help you with your work the rest of the week. Good luck, everyone.